My name is Bob McComb. It's my pleasure to be with you here today. Here you're going to learn about the on-ramp to the road to your success in commercial real estate. And this program is for you and it's about you and your future. But I do need to start for just a couple of minutes to tell you a little bit about myself. Uh, I started in commercial real estate about 35 years ago. The first 7 years of my career, I worked for other brokerage companies in San Francisco. And then I started my own company and I ran it for 10 years. I built it up to 2 offices and 25 successful commercial agents. I was the listing agent for the Transamerica Pyramid at one point in my career. And over the last 20 years, I've dedicated my life to teaching people how to succeed in commercial real estate. I've created programs that literally are the on-ramp to the road to your success. So enough about me. Let's get into the goals of today's program and what this program can do for you. Today you're going to learn how you can make more money sooner in commercial real estate. And I hope that inspires you. This is a high ticket sale. You can make a lot of money, or it can be very low producing, working for peanuts kind of model, depending upon how you approach it. I'm going to show you some of the pitfalls to avoid that often lead new agents to failure. Towards the end of the program, I'm going to walk you through the 7 keys to ultimate success in commercial real estate. So be sure to stay with me all the way to the end. You need to get hired at the best commercial firms. It's too easy to get hired at the lower tier firms and too painful later. And I'll tell you more about that in today's program. But mostly you're going to learn that there is an on-ramp to the road to commercial real estate success, and you can get on it. So who is this program for? Well, it's certainly for newer agents in the commercial real estate industry, but primarily it's for people who are motivated to succeed quickly. So here's the question I have for you. Are you here because you're trying to avoid failure? If the answer is yes, then maybe this isn't for you. This is a program that's for people who are seeking success. This is for success seekers. It's also a program for people who made less than $200,000 in gross commission income in the last year if they've been in the business for a while. And it's a great program for anybody who's not getting the help that they need in commercial real estate, because that's what this program is about. And today's program is for agents who do not believe that you can fake it till you make it. That can never work. I'll tell you who this program's not for. If you're looking for a get-rich-quick scheme, this is not it. If you're not interested in being a top producing commercial real estate broker, you want to be a dabbler, there's other ways for you to do that. This is not a program for anyone who thinks that it will take years to make it, no matter what. There is an on-ramp to success. It's also not a program for people who think, well, I can just fake it till I make it, or I need to make a few deals before I can invest in my education in commercial real estate. That's never going to work. You can't fail your way forward in commercial real estate. It's also not a program for people who really like to make a lot of calls only to watch those prospects slip away because they weren't capable of meeting the prospect's needs. So my mission here is to instruct and to inspire your future success. But you have a mission here too. And that mission is to become the leading expert in your market service area. You've got to be the trusted advisor to multiple high lifetime value accounts. And one of the great things about commercial real estate, of course, is that there are high lifetime value accounts and you can capture them. Let's take a look at some of the most common myths in commercial real estate, and let's bust them. The first one is that commercial real estate is tough to get into. Well, maybe a long time ago, it was much more difficult to get into. You had to go with a mainstream firm. They had all the education, all the training, all the forms, all the infrastructure, all the tools. That is no longer true. Every firm has those things now. And the lower tier firms have them as well as the upper tier firms. But you don't want to be with a lower tier firm. You want to be with the best firm you can get to. The other myth is that it's a feast or famine business. And that's also not true. You see, if you develop the habits that lead to success and stay with those habits, what you'll find is that it's not a feast or famine business. You can make consistently good income and grow that income year after year, making investments in your own real estate portfolio and other things. Another myth is that it takes a long time to make it. Well, for some people, it does take a long time to make it because they don't have the right approach. The right approach is you must learn before you can earn so you don't get burned. Another myth out there is that there are good old boys and they control everything. Nothing is further from the truth. The truth of the matter is a lot of those good old boys are old dogs that can't even get off the porch anymore. And it's easy for young people who are educated and trained well to knock those guys out of the box. It's not difficult at all. The truth in commercial real estate is the money is fantastic. You can make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in gross commissions without a lot of difficulty. Those accounts are out there. This is a country that thrives on business, and commercial real estate is about business. Now, here's something to consider. Most agents want to be outstanding, and I'm sure you do too. And if you do, you are absolutely in the right place right here, right now, to learn how to become outstanding. But what does outstanding mean? It means that you stand out from the competition. And you have to do that to be successful in commercial real estate. You cannot just be one of the also rans in the business. And the reason for that is because the amount of commission per transaction charged by the best is pretty much the same amount of commission charged per transaction by the rest. And if you follow that, you'll understand that the clients have a choice. They can hire the best for the same money that they can hire an also ran. So the idea of becoming outstanding isn't really optional. It's something you have to do. So let's take a quick look at some of the problems that newer commercial agents face in this business, and let's talk about what you can do about it. One problem that agents face is that there's no college degree that prepares you to be successful in commercial real estate. That's a big challenge. Almost every other field has a college major. And yes, there are some college majors for commercial real estate, but it's really about the analytics, working with an MBA and working at the portfolio level for investment trusts and for equity funds and that sort of thing. But for being a broker, there is no college degree for it. You have to learn it. And this is the place for you to learn it. Another problem agents face is that they get really bad advice about how to get started. I know because over the last 20 years, I've gotten so many calls from agents who have gone to work for a firm for a year, two, sometimes even 3 years and didn't make any money. And they didn't get the right advice about how to get started in commercial real estate. So I'm going to help you with that today. I want you to get the best advice. And I know at some point you're going to have questions. And at the end of this, I'm going to show you how you can schedule time with me directly for us to talk for about a half an hour about you and your career and your questions and to answer those questions for you. So stay with me to the end. I'll give you that contact information where you can sign up to work with me for free for half an hour. And let's figure out that part of your career. One of the other challenges that new commercial brokers face is that they end up working for peanuts. And what do I mean by that? Well, they buy into this myth that you can go be a junior team member for a senior broker and it's all going to be okay. But the truth is that senior broker isn't really skilled at training you. They're going to give you a series of menial tasks that you'll do over and over again. They're not motivated to move you up into being a successful broker on your own because they have to go get another junior after that. And so as a result, even if it's only subconscious, they tend to keep their juniors for a long time. And those people get very tiny parts of commissions. And if they're working for a bigger house where most junior team member scenarios occur, the house is taking the lion's share of the commission, and then the team is splitting what's left. And if that's the case, the junior team members are getting less and less and less. That's what I mean by working for peanuts for a long period of time. That's one of the big pitfalls that you can avoid. The truth is, it doesn't take a lot of people to do most of these transactions. You just have to get really competent really fast. And I'll show you how to do that today. Another problem that commercial real estate brokers face coming into the business is they go broke fast attending the School of Hard Knocks. The tuition at the School of Hard Knocks is way too high. Months and months of non-production, struggling, failing, making calls, talking to people, getting good leads, watching them fritter away, having deals fail because of a lack of confidence is the key problem that a lot of agents face. And they go broke attending the School of Hard Knocks. They have some resources at the outset, enough to get them going, but nobody gets them into big enough and substantial enough transactions to get them making money. In other words, they're not put onto an on-ramp for success the way you'll learn about in this program. Another problem that they have is they're told to mask their incompetence. They're told to wear a mask, right? You don't let people know that you're new to the business. But the problem is that people can see behind that mask, and that is a big problem for us. Another reason that people struggle in this business is they end up working for free. And here's what I mean by that. It's very easy to get a position in a lower tier, quote unquote, boutique firm. There's lots of brokers out there that would love to have you come aboard and they'll show you the ropes. They'll teach you. But the truth of the matter is that they are very busy with their own transactions. They do not have a system in place for you to really learn the business, and you end up working for them for free. And sometimes that happens for, as I said earlier, for many, many years, several years before they wash out or get smart about how to make money in the business. Now, here's the question I have for you. Everyone wants to win. The question is, are you prepared to win? There are three key questions that you must ask yourself about this business, and I hope you understand the value of these questions. The first question is, can you do it? Meaning, do you have the time? Do you have the knowledge? Do you have the training to be able to be in this business? If you do, that's great. The next question you have to ask is, will it work? Meaning, will you be able to develop the processes to make you highly successful? Being process oriented in your business, having the right work habits, the right habits that generate a lot of business, that convert leads into clients and deliver services is the key to this business. And that really revolves around your education and training, right? And the third question is, will it be worth it? And I'll go ahead and answer that question for you. If you get on the road to success and you do well in this business, it will most certainly be worth it. So here's what this program today is really about. It's about an online course. It's a course called How to Fast Track Your Expertise in Commercial Real Estate. And as the image on the screen implies, this is something you can do anywhere on any device. You can work on it on your smartphone, on your tablet, on your computer, on your laptop. Anywhere where there's Wi-Fi, you can work this course. And it's yours to keep, yours to repeat, to get to mastery. Going through something once is familiarization. Owning a program like this, where you can repeat the material anytime you have an opportunity and you want to prepare to capitalize on that opportunity, is imperative. So I'm going to teach you a little bit about what this course is about, and I hope you'll understand the importance of what you're going to learn. So this program is really designed to teach you about the major property types that we broker. So what are the 5 major property types that we broker? I hope you know what they are. They are office, industrial, retail, multifamily, and commercially zoned land. That's primarily what we work in. Now there are subcategories of all of those, right? You've got in the industrial sector, you have warehouses, you have assembly plants, you have manufacturing, you have storage, you have all sorts of things. In office, you have medical office, conventional office, legal office, uh, technical offices, all kinds of things like that, right? So retail, there's various strata of retail. For example, there's the Grand Lux shopping centers and there's economy retail and everything in between, right? Multifamily is an arena that we probably have a greater understanding of. And multifamily is a place where a lot of new agents gravitate because they do understand it better. But we need to learn the major property types. We also have to learn the anatomy of sales transactions as well as leasing transactions. We make money in sales and leasing. Leasing is often the client capture point for a lot of business, especially on the sales side. You have to understand your roles, and there are 3 primary roles that you'll learn about in this program. One is, what are the steps in representing owners of commercial property? What are the steps in representing buyers of commercial property? And what's the process and steps for representing tenants and being a tenant rep broker? You need to learn those roles and learn them well. You have to learn the most commonly used financial calculations to figure out loan amounts, to figure out investment, rent versus buy analysis, and all kinds of material like that. We now live in a business, in a world where there are tremendous tools to help commercial real estate agents. When I first started, my very first program was I was an early adopter of technology, probably one of the earliest that I met people. When I first started, the PC was just coming out. And I bought a program called the Real Estate Consultant. And from that, I learned how to do analysis. And that was a great tool. But now there's a whole range of tools, and a whole myriad of tools: inventory tools, CRMs, marketing tools, brand building tools, packaging tools for your pro formas for all your business, and prospecting, locating tools, etc. You got to learn all of those, right? And then, of course, this is a people business, and you've got to know who to get to know. There's a whole range of people that you need to get to know. So that's just some of what we cover in the Fast Track program: how to fast track your expertise in commercial real estate. You need to learn the basics. You need to really get a foundation under yourself, right? That's the key to being successful. And the course you're learning about, well, we've trained thousands of agents with it. And at the end, I'll go through some testimonials and those kind of things. But really, in a lot of these kinds of webinars, right, when people like me are taught how to do this kind of webinar to tell you about ourselves, we're told, oh, you have to have a sob story. You have to tell people, how you struggled and you failed, and then you kept working, and then you had this amazing discovery. I don't have that story for you. I don't have a sob story for you. The truth of the matter is that I started succeeding right away. And I'll tell you why. And it's very simple: because my burn to learn was greater than my burn to earn. My burn to learn was greater than my burn to earn. I learned before I earned, and therefore I didn't get burned. And that's imperative for you. Well, what do I mean by success? Let's talk about that for a minute. I listed the Transamerica Pyramid and many, many other core financial district properties in downtown San Francisco in fewer than 5 years. And when I went to San Francisco, I didn't know anybody. I had never been really in a major office tower in my entire life. And not only did I not know anybody, I didn't have any experience in leasing, but I did know that I needed to really learn and really dig in. And the truth of the matter is I didn't see a lot of other agents new coming into the business having that same burn to learn. But think of it this way, right? Nobody really, goes out and says, well, I'm going to go do something and succeed at it without learning the basics. You've got to be able to learn the basics. And that's an imperative. And the truth is, there's a huge amount for you to learn. And this is why I get those calls from people who have gone to a lower tier brokerage firm. The broker says, oh, I'll teach you the business. I'll get you through some deals, a little bit like I'm going to take you out to the airport. I'll show you the airplane. I'll show you where you're going to sit. You take the plane up a few times. It doesn't matter if you crash. You're new at this. But that's not the truth. There's a huge amount to learn. That broker does not have the time to teach you everything you need to know or even close to what you need to know. The truth is that elephant that's standing in the path between you and success must be eaten. There's no way over, around, or through the elephant. You've got to eat the elephant. In other words, you got to learn before you can earn so you don't get burned. It's not, you can't just know a little bit more than the clients you're working for because the accounts you really want know the business extremely well. And if you don't know the business extremely well, they don't need you. So you've got to get on that highway to success. If people stop calling you back, if you've been in the business for a while making calls, came up with some leads and people stopped calling you back, it was because you didn't know enough to be able to help them and they figured it out. They were too kind to tell you that. They were too kind to say, well, you're fired, but you were. That's the bottom line. I hope that's not what you've been experiencing. If it is, you are in the right place. Stay with me for a few minutes more. I'm going to show you how to be successful in commercial real estate, what it actually takes. So again, you got to learn before you can earn. You can never fake it until you make it. You see, people have problems that they need to have solved. They have things that they want to achieve, and you have to be the person who gets them to the destination of either relieving a problem or achieving a goal, or sometimes both. And that is your role. That's why fake it till you make it can never work. So let's talk about how what happens to people and why they get on the right way and the wrong way to succeed. So on the screen here, you see two pyramids. The pyramid on the left is the one that's the correct way to succeed. And I use a pyramid because you can see that the biggest part of any pyramid is its base. So the base for you, for your success, is education. Once you have a basic core competencies education, and here's the great news, you have this wonderful brain and it can learn a lot really fast. And education does that for us. It compresses what it took others years to learn into a very short period of time for you. Once you've got some basics down, you need to develop certain skills. You need prospecting skills and lead generation skills and lead conversion skills, presentation skills, negotiating skills, a whole range of skills. And you have to learn those skills, but it's not enough to just learn them. You have to practice them. Learn and practice skills. So the next level is deliberate practice. And this is the right syntax for being successful in the business. If you're engaged in deliberate practice and if you're engaged in the business, you can get coaching and feedback. That broker who promised to teach you the business can be a mentor, but you'll notice the mentor is the smallest part of the pyramid. And that's because mentors are for us to work with to innovate and refine our practices. Here's what happens to too many people. They come into this business and the biggest base of their pyramid for success is the mentor who has little or no time for them and who has no educational program for them. And therefore, the mentor takes them out and shows them the ropes. But since the agent is not developing any skills, there can't be any coaching because there's no skills development. There's no deliberate practice of those skills. And the smallest part of their pyramid is their fundamental education. So you can see that if you take this approach, I'm just going to find a broker who's going to show me the ropes, and perhaps they'll have time to coach me, and perhaps they'll help me learn some skills, and perhaps they'll role play and deliberate practice skills with me and give me that coaching and feedback I need. Maybe they'll help me get the education I need. It's just fallacious, not going to happen. It doesn't work. You've got to use the right syntax for success. Now, once you have the right syntax for success, there is a cycle of success that you can get on. And that cycle of success has to come from feeling competent. In other words, the cycle of success says first you have to believe. You'll see that that's the ball at the 9 o'clock position. If you believe, now you can tap into your potential. If you tap into your potential and take action, you're going to get some results. If you get results, it's going to reinforce your belief that you can be successful in the business. So that's the cycle of success. It also works the other way, meaning that if you don't believe you can do something, you'll never tap into your potential, or you'll tap into some low level of potential. You'll take some weaker actions for yourself, get you poor results, and that's going to reinforce your belief that you can't do this. But you've got to get on the cycle of success now, and the way to do that is to take a look at a step-by-step program that's going to get you where you need to go. So hopefully you're still with me. I'm going to show you the 7 keys to success in commercial real estate in just a few minutes, but I want to give you some ideas about what this program is about. Now, you've got to learn how to become outstanding. This is not a business where just okay is okay. It's not. Just okay is not okay. All the rewards go to outstanding brokers. And we see this in sports, don't we? The outstanding players in any sports get all the big rewards. The bench players get far less, don't they? And those who never make the bench, who have permanent potential, get nothing. All the rewards go to the outstanding brokers the same way. So what are then the 7 keys to success in commercial real estate, and how can you get them? Well, you've got to create a value proposition. That value proposition is that you know the language of commercial real estate. You know the language of office, industrial, retail, multifamily, land, the language of leasing, the language of sales transactions. You know the language of the finance side of the business. And because it's a needs fulfillment sale, your ability to ask all the right questions is what allows you to now demonstrate expertise to people. So building a value proposition, the 7 keys to success in commercial real estate, starts with learning the language of the business and how the business works. And then learning how to ask all the right questions. Now, in the Fast Track program, we're going to give you all the right questions to ask about property, people's requirements, the numbers, all of that, right? The third key is that you have to know the steps in the process of how to represent owners, buyers, and tenants. And as I said, in the Fast Track program, we're going to teach you how to represent owners, buyers, and tenants in a step-by-step way. So now your sales process is I diagnose what people need, and then I put them on a path step-by-step to get them where they want to go. Which leads next to the 4th key to commercial real estate success is you've got to be able to create timelines for people so that they know what the next steps are for them to get to their real estate goals. I hope this makes sense to you. Another key to your value proposition is you have to know the market better than the clients do. I remember my 2nd year as a commercial real estate broker, I ran into a guy that needed my services. And when I started talking about various buildings in the downtown, it was very evident that he knew more about all those buildings than I did, and he was a lawyer. You know, that's not a very comfortable place to be, I can tell you. I went and sharpened up my skills pretty quick after that. I had to know the market. Also in our business, one of the keys to success is that we have people on tap to help us help our clients, right? So you have to build that resource team, and we'll show you who you need to get to know to have a resource team, whether that's an environmental inspector, appraisers, lenders, escrow people, people who do various kinds of inspections, environmental, ADA, energy compliance, etc. You've got to have this resource team of people, tenant improvement contractors, a whole bunch of them, right? Can't go through them all now for you, but you've got to build that resource team, and you got to have those people on tap to help your clients. You need to know what they do, where they fit into the transaction, how much they charge, approximately how long it takes, so you can put the right kind of timelines together for deals, as we saw in this fourth key here. So you got to get all that. This is just part of that big elephant of things you have to learn before you earn, so you don't get burned. And of course, as I said earlier, we have tremendous tools, and we have to learn which tools are valuable, and we have to learn how to use them. And that's imperative. So what is the fast track course? What is it actually? Well, first of all, it's a high quality video delivery system. You'll be working directly with me. You'll see me on video, and also a guy that I hired to organize the material and develop the material so that it was really done correctly for you. Meaning that person didn't know commercial real estate, so they needed to be able to understand it for it to be workable for you, right? Because I, I often know what I'm saying, but you may not, right? So there are 15 one-hour sessions for you that are followed with career building action steps, meaning I'm not just going to tell you about commercial real estate, but I'm going to tell you what to do with what you've learned in each and every lesson. And I've made it repeatable for you so that you can go back through any of the lessons anytime, and I hope you will, because that's the key to mastery, right? So go through the program sequentially, and then from there, be willing to go back and watch various lessons at various times so that you can then prepare for various opportunities. So if it's a particular product type you have a chance to list, go through that. Now, to support that, because it's not always convenient to rewatch videos for preparation for meetings. So you want to maybe do that at the local coffee shop or at somebody's house or away on a weekend. There are downloadable ebooks and manuals that track each of the 15 lessons. So there's 15 ebooks, if you will, one for each of the 1 hour lessons in the program. So that's a secondary way of learning the material. And we all learn differently, right? So some of us learn well from the video format, others want to read, and sometimes we want to do both, right? Because repetition is the mother of skill, and this is a skills business. Now, a third part of the deliverables in this program is PDFs. PDFs that are property questionnaires for office, industrial, retail, multifamily land. Worksheets for the numbers to figure out lending requirements for residential and non-residential types of property. When I say residential, I mean multifamily residential and non-residential commercial property worksheets. Worksheets for accumulating the numbers so that you can do the proper analysis for valuation, for finance, right? For rent versus buy analysis, the kinds of, and help you understand what are the numbers that people make decisions on for making a buy, right? So those worksheets are there, analysis worksheets. Also, you're going to represent buyers and tenants in your career. You need to understand what their requirements are. So there are worksheets in PDFs for you to download too to be able to work with clients in the right sales process. Now, I alluded to this earlier. The correct sales process is that you diagnose what people need and then you put them on a path. And so these worksheets and questionnaires are for the diagnosis, and you learn your steps in the process of representing owners, buyers, and tenants and can lay that out for them. You have to learn these major property types: office, industrial, retail, multifamily, and commercially zoned land. Why? Because look around you and see what's being redeveloped in your communities. You'll find that it's mixed use, it's urban village. Many times there's an office component, there's a retail component or a multifamily component in there. You've got industrial parks that have retail mixed in there, etc. And so you've got to be able to know all of these property types. There's no gray area here. This is definitely something you must have. Now, you've got to learn the numbers, right? As we talked about, you've got to learn how to value commercial property, and it's a little tricky. It's not the easiest thing because they're very dissimilar. Most of your, it's not like if you've been in residential and you comp one house against another house. They're all different, right? Commercial properties are all different. You've got to learn how to do a comparative market analysis for properties that are substantially dissimilar, making adjustments for age and condition, location, et cetera, right? You've got to be able to do a basic investment analysis. You've got to know how people make decisions to buy and sell. Many times people will just try to figure out, well, do I want to rent or buy? Do I want to lease or buy? And you need to be able to do that. You need to understand that financing for commercial property is different than residential, and for multifamily is different than it is for non-residential commercial. And you've got to understand how all that works. And you've got to figure out, the property development ratios. If you're looking at a piece of property that's not being used for its highest and best use, whether that's vacant or needs to be redeveloped. What are the ratios that allow you to understand what can be done with that property? Just as some of that 9,000-pound elephant that you have to eat. And then, of course, you have to learn your roles. As I said, we're going to teach you all that. Owner representation, buyer representation, tenant representation. We're going to teach you the anatomy of transactions, how you structure a sales transaction, how you structure leasing, the language of leasing, and much more. So where can you do all this? Well, you're going to be left on a site that's called commercialrealestatetraining.com. And on there, you're going to find this program. And you're going to find the program, How to Fast Track Your Expertise in Commercial Real Estate. It's in a managed learning system for you. You can go in, you can watch lessons, you can download all the materials that we talked about in this program. They're all yours to keep, all yours to use over and over again. And this is going to help you be successful in commercial estate. Now, it also can help you get hired at a better company. And that's critical. So complete the course, learn anywhere, right? With this course that's incremental, actionable, and repeatable. Then you'll get a certificate of completion, and you can go to a better firm and say, what I've done to prepare to be successful in commercial real estate is I've taken this course. Most of the big companies out there know this course. They don't provide it, but they know it. And if you show up and say you've taken this course, you're going to have a better chance of getting hired at a better firm, and that's good for you. So perhaps you've heard of some companies like NAI Capital. NAI has got thousands, 6,500 agents nationwide, and they've got offices all over the country. And John Mannion was a senior vice president there. And you can read this testimonial if you want. He took all my courses, and his office, because of him and some of the other people that he worked with in that office on these courses, was the #1 office out of 13 offices that NAI Capital had in Southern California. So John, wrote me this nice testimonial. Michael Bull, you may have heard of Michael Bull. He's a commercial real estate radio host out of Atlanta. He's a certified commercial investment manager, CCIM designation, owns his own company down in Atlanta, and has endorsed my program on his radio show. I've been a guest there. Michael Bull's a great guy. And, he, as he said, if you utilize my training, you will be excellent at this business. You will actually thrive in the business, and that's your goal. Buddy Hagee is a CCIM. The CCIM is a certified commercial investment manager, and he considers me one of the best facilitators and communicators that he's worked with, and recommends my programs as well. And many others do too. If you go to my LinkedIn profile, you'll find dozens of recommendations there. And again, this is not about me. It's about you. See, it doesn't matter if those programs work for other people. It only matters if it works for you. And so we have 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you're not happy with this program, give me a call. I'll give you back your money. No questions asked. None. I know that if you are a success seeker, you're not just trying to avoid failure in life, but you're actually actively seeking to be successful in commercial real estate, we will never get this program back from you. You will be thrilled to have it. There is no better on-ramp to the road to success than this program. And again, there's a tremendous amount of money to be made in this business. When you complete this program, you're going to receive a coupon code. It's going to save you $100 on the program. The program is not expensive. It's normally $595. So $100 off to be $495. This is a drop in the bucket compared to what you can make, and also, you know, a huge savings to you when compared to going months without earning, right? And your bills just keep piling up. So I hope that you have gotten a lot out of today's program. This is what it takes to be successful in commercial real estate. Now, I told you I'm here to help you succeed. So here's my contact information. Again, my name is Bob McComb, so my email address is on the screen. See, it's bob@mccomb.com. How clever. Okay, my phone number, 415-971-4830. I'm on West Coast time. You can try just calling me with your questions after you complete this session. Or better yet, go to on the site that you're going to be left at, commercialrealestatetraining.com, and you'll see at the bottom there's a place for you to sign up for a 30-minute one-on-one coaching consultation with me, and that's at no cost. You can do 30 minutes with me. I'll answer all your questions. I'll guide you correctly. My mission is to help you understand what it takes to be successful, to instruct and inspire you to be successful, and your mission is to become the leading expert in your market service area for the kind of properties you want to represent, because that's what it takes to be successful. I appreciate the time that you've spent on today's program, and I know that if you do this program, you're going to be absolutely thrilled with it. Thanks for listening.